Welcome back to my shop. For those of you that have followed me on YouTube for a while, you're probably well aware that I'm the guy that offers the DIY Gatton CNC kits. And because of that, I cut a lot of 3/4 inch plywood. And because I cut a lot of plywood, I'm sure you're thinking that it's just a matter of time before old Dave does a turning project out of plywood. Well kids, today's the day. I cut these rings out of a scrap piece of plywood that I had where I'd cut a few parts and had a lot of space left over, and it worked out just right. I had enough to cut these, I don't know, 11 or 12 rings, whatever I've got here. But I've just got them stacked up here. I'm hoping that I'm going to get these things glued together and then try to turn something that resembles a base. I've seen some other guys do some projects out of plywood, and sometimes they turn out pretty cool. So we're going to get these glued up and then we'll get started turning. Okay, I've got the rings all glued up. I've actually made this in two pieces. I'm going to keep this upper part separate, and I'm going to stick this on here and try to get the basic shape, and this will allow me to be able to get down inside here a little easier if I leave this off, because this whole thing is going to be about 9 inches in height, give or take. So it'll be a little easier to get down in here to the bottom if I just turn this part and then glue this part on. So that's how I'm going to do it. Let's get started making some shavings. Okay, I've got the outside shape kind of close to what I'm looking for. I'm probably going to refine it a little bit more once I get the other top piece excuse me, the other top piece on. But for now I'm going to take the tailstock away and see if I can kind of get the inside smoothed out, and we'll go from there. Alright, I had to stop and do a quick fix here. I had a solid ring of plywood right here, or circle I should say, and I had a recess in it, and you can't really see it, but it's missing a ply. One of the plies apparently didn't have enough glue on it and started coming apart. Fortunately I caught it before this thing went flying off. So I had to just get another piece. This is a piece of 2x4 here, and I've turned it round and put a tenon on it here, and then re-glued it. So I've taken like a 4-hour break while this glue's setting up, and I've even put a little hot glue around it here. So let's see if I can continue cleaning out the inside here. Okay, back out here again. This is day 2 of this, I guess. Had another problem with, if you remember earlier, I had the plywood recess started separating layers and stuff. So I glued another glue block on here that had a tenon, and lo and behold, it started to look a little wobbly again. And that tenon was starting to crack off, so I faced that one off and made yet another glue block. And I think I've got a little better tenon on this. I think this one's going to work, I hope. But of course, every time I glue a new glue block on, it makes this thing a little wobbly. So I'm going to try to true up this outside a little bit, because I still didn't have it all the way down to the shape I wanted. So I'm going to try to true it up a little bit to get some of the wobble out of it, and then I'll go back inside and see if I can finish cleaning up the inside. Okay, I'm back out here at it again, and I will bring you up to speed here. You saw this thing go flying off of here. It broke another tenon I had here. So I took a little time to think about it, and here's what I ended up doing. I managed to fit this thing between centers enough to take my pull saw, this was on right here, and I cut this part off to get rid of all this these couple of waste blocks that don't seem to be holding. And I made a brand new waste block, have a tenon, and that's what's holding it on now. But what I did is, after I cut this bunch off, I took this into my CNC, and this was just short enough that I was able to put my surfacing bit and get the bottom of this vase here nice and flat, and then get a good glue joint right there. So my plan now is it's going to be a little bit wobbly because you can't get this thing centered perfectly when you're putting a new one on there. But my plan now is to keep the tailstock up for support, try to get this back true again, and then I will use my steady rest to try to hold this while I do the inside. So anyway, that's the plan. We'll see if it works. If not, this is probably going to end up in the fire pit. So anyway, let's get started. Okay, got this trued up pretty good, so I may be able to salvage something out of this just yet. So now I'm going to take this tailstock away and get the steady rest put on here, so it will help support it while I'm trying to do the inside. My little homemade steady rest worked fantastic. It was really kept things steady where I could feel comfortable trying to clean up the inside. However, I did notice that I should have, instead of making this vase in just 2 pieces where I did 8 rings and then the top 4 rings, I should have done just 4 rings at a time and then cleaned it up, because I thought I was going to be able to get in there like you can see me doing now, but I still couldn't safely get in there. There just wasn't enough room down at the bottom, so I just couldn't get in safely with to get that last layer or 2. So it is what it is. I'll know next time, but I wish I could have been able to get all the way down there. Okay, here's my little vase from Plywood scraps. This little project certainly presented itself with some challenges for me, as you saw if you watched the whole video. But I just kept plugging away at it, and once I got a decent waste block glued to it, then it worked pretty good. And of course the little steady rests I made for this little Nova Comet 2 lathe really worked wonders too. That really helped a lot. So anyway, got some glamour shots coming up here at the end, but I used the Axe abrasive sanding paste and the Axe polishing restoring paste. I love that stuff. If you want to get yourself some, I have a discount code down below in the description. Just look for Dave10 and go to their website, and I'll have a link to that and get you some of that stuff. I love that stuff. It's all I've been using since I started back turning. So anyway, that's going to do it for this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed and you think you might want to do so, please hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit the little bell so you get a notification every time I upload a new video. I put out a new video every Saturday morning, so you know, subscribe and check out what I'm doing. I got a lot more stuff like this coming down the pike. So thank you very much for watching, and until the next time, we'll see you around.